Hey everyone, and welcome back to Small Engine Edge. Today we're going to talk about something that we've touched on before, but we've never really went in depth into, and that is making sure that you're logging things, that you're taking pictures, and that you know what's what when things are dropped off or picked up as far as customers' equipment goes. If you don't do that, then you're not going to know if what the customer is saying is true or not. I'll give you a couple of real world examples that have happened this past week when we got this huge rush of snowblowers, about 160 within just a few days. Things can get messed up real quick, but if you keep on top of logging everything that's coming in, you won't have to waste your time and you won't have to possibly cost your reputation if you make a mistake. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons as we go along if you enjoy the content. As I just mentioned, we got about 160 snowblowers in just a few days here, whether they were picked up or dropped off. Crazy part was it was only about 7 inches of snow total during the entire snowfall. Many more that we normally get every year just at once in one shot. So it was kind of extremely busy. We weren't expecting it this time of year. We had a bunch of other projects going on and everything. The place is just completely packed. We're moving things around just to get to an item here and there and everything else. Well, we came across a snowblower that when we pulled it in, this is what the starter looked like. Of course, it was on the snowblower, but I'm like, that's interesting. Looks kind of like a fresh break. Looks like something that could have happened while it was here or while it was being picked up or while it was being moved around. Regardless, we had pictures of this from when it was picked up, and we were able to tell the customer right off bat, hey, this starter was broken when we picked it up. He decided that he was going to argue and say, no, it's never been like that. But the write-up told everything. It said it hadn't been used in 2 years and had just been sitting in his garage. Now, I'm not saying that customers are going to lie to you, which sometimes that will happen. You will get dishonest customers. I don't believe that this guy actually had any idea that his starter was broken like that. It was probably in his garage for a couple of years. One of the kids or somebody else, the wife, or maybe even him accidentally hit it and broke it with something else. Maybe they were pulling out another item out of the garage, but it wasn't even noticed at that point. And who knows how long ago that could have been. There wasn't a real clear dust or anything on the inside. So it was hard to tell that it wasn't a fresh break. It seemed like a fresh break. Whether they're trying to be dishonest or not, though, if you're taking those pictures and logging those things as you're picking things up or as they're dropped off, especially if there's anything out of the ordinary, then you're not going to question it later on. And you're not going to have people that are mad about it because this customer could have still been extremely angry, whether it was him that broke it or not, if we didn't have that log and if we didn't have that picture of, hey, this is what it looked like before we picked it up. Very easy to do. Takes just a couple seconds, log it, take a few pictures around it, and we just store those in folders on the phone for every day that they're picked up. We've got a different file that we put it into. Each and every day, we just take the day's pictures and put them in that day, and we'll delete them every month is what we do. It's very easy. I don't track them individually by customer or anything, but it's extremely easy to do as you go back. Those all have metadata and stuff on them that they save if you need to, and you can usually pick them out pretty easily as far as what customer's piece of equipment is what. Sure, there's a better way to do it. I'm sure some of you may log those things on a computer or have files or email them to yourself or however you do it. It doesn't really matter how you do it. It matters that you do it nonetheless. You need to make sure that those things are logged and that they're very clear, especially any damage off top. If you're taking this picture and it's on the trailer and the chute flies off or something breaks while it's en route, don't try to get out of that. Cover that for the customer. Be honest with the customer. Hey, sorry, this happened in transit. We're going to get it taken care of. Do not try to get out of that as a company, though. That will come back to bite you. You need to be honest with those customers and take care of an issue or something that was broken if you caused it. Another example of this is a customer tried to tell us recently when we picked up a push mower that it had a side chute on it. We never take accessories if they're there. The customer thought the entire time it had a side chute on it. Well, the pictures clearly showed it was not there. It wasn't there when he left it out. It wasn't there when we picked it up. It wasn't something that we took off and left there, which we do for accessories, bags, and side chutes. We never take those things with us. There's no reason to. That's one more thing to get lost in the shop, and we don't need it to do any of the service on that piece of equipment. So we'll always leave those. We'll tell the customer, hey, we didn't need your side chute. We didn't need your bag. But in this case, it was never left. So I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it was ever on there. I don't know if somebody moved it around in the garage or however, but it wasn't something that we needed to come out of pocket and provide back to the customer because it was never there when we picked it up. Again, something very easy, and it saves a bunch of time. It saves a bunch of frustration on both ends, going back and forth and saying, hey, that wasn't here. You have a very clear image of proof that that wasn't there. You don't have to argue with them. They're not going to be upset because it's like, hey, this is exactly where it was when we picked it up. This is how it was. Cut and dry. Very easy. We've had instances of that. We probably get 20 or 30 a year where people question stuff like that. Well, hey, my zero turn, that was one of the other recent ones. A guy told us that his zero turn had a side chute on it. Well, we rebuilt the entire deck. No reason to take the side chute off to begin with. They're affixed. And same thing. He said, oh, yeah, it was on there. Now it's throwing grass up onto the deck and kind of on me when I'm mowing. I'm like, hey, sorry about that, but your blades were about worn into pieces. May have had something to do with it. Didn't have as high of a lift on them at that point. I'm not sure how long you've owned it, but it did not come with a side chute. Same exact thing, but from a push mower to a zero turn. Easy to defend and very easy to save you from all that frustration. We've done a video on our pickup and deliveries and our policies there, but it's the same thing for stuff that gets brought in the shop. Everything that's in here is constantly on camera anyway, so it's a little bit easier. We don't actually take walk-around pictures of anything that gets dropped off because I can track them all the way through the shop from drop-off to pickup. And that's all saved. We've got multiple hard drives that we save them on for our security systems. We've got 20-plus cameras. Very easy here. Unless it's something that we notice damaged right off the top, we don't really worry about it here. Quick walk around, that's all good. But out there in the field, it's a lot more difficult. Here I can prove it with the camera systems we have without having to do that. Hopefully you have a system in place to do the same. At the very least, log, but a picture tells 1,000 words again. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if I helped you out. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.